Alrighty, everybody, here we are once again, another Project Healing Water special. Wednesday night, it must be 6 o'clock Central Time, that's 1800. We try to get it right on the money, but there's delays and lags, and I click this, and then the percentage sign moves, so yeah, we're not quite like clockwork, but we're pretty darn close to it. What can I say? So, how's everybody doing today? We're gonna, like always, get ourselves tuned into the iPod. Yeah, I guess that's a question. How do you guys watch the live streams? I have a couple of live streams that I tune into from time to time, not fly fishing related, more music related, but I cast it from my device onto my television and usually enjoy whatever I'm watching at 42-inch high def. It's an old TV, but it's still pretty cool watching whoever. Where are we at? There we go. Nope, that's still coming up as a. Sometimes I wish things were just made a little bit easier. But I don't know. Here we are once again. We'll give everybody a few minutes to tune in and tune on. I need to close that. Videos. You think they would just make it easy for me to find my own video? There we go. So, took myself a little road trip today. Wife and I hopped in the car, hopped in the truck, and we scooted down and got to see the world's largest ball of twine. Now that sucker was huge. I don't remember any of the exact details. I know that the guy did it by himself over the period of time, and he just started twiddling it on his fingers, and then it got bigger, and then it got bigger, and now it's as big as a big old gazebo. So after that, we decided to I packed ourselves a little picnic, and we went to Sibley State Park, Minnesota State Park, to just check it out. The park was pretty empty for a state park. I could just imagine, if it wasn't for everything that's happening now, um, we would have seen a lot more people there. But anyways, we set up our little picnic spot, and I cooked up. Actually busted out the little camp stove and made a little roadside spaghetti. A little roadside spaghetti. Uh, what did I have in there? It was a sun-dried tomatoes and some other good stuff. So yeah, it was a good little adventure. Of course, brought the 10 car rods. You never know if you're gonna just be able to get a line wet. And sure enough, we found a little public fishing pier. They're pretty neat here in Minnesota. They're big giant tees, right? You'll go out some distance, and then it is just either side. It's just another dock on its side. And at the main camping area, it was a couple of kids out there, so we didn't bother. We want to keep our distance. It's like kids are on the dock. Hey, guess what? That's their dock, I guess. So we found a spot where there is a small creek that connects two lakes, and there just happened to be a little fishing pier right by there too. Just got a couple of perch. I got a small little sunny on. Well, we went back to the truck and we're getting ready to pack up to finish up the day, and I see one last spot. It's like, gosh, I just got to get a couple of casts in, and I had the black Tom Sue's hopper on a 10 car rod, and this was a small little creek, and it's just before it goes into the culvert and then dumps into the larger lake. Oh, there was a big fat sunny in there. He hopped on that so quick. He was like he hadn't seen nothing before. But you saw the grasshoppers flying all over. You see dragonflies flying. So it is terrestrial season. So, things that got little wings on them, things that are hopping and flopping and jumping and jiving, that's what we're into. So, let's see here. We got Josh is in the house. Good evening. And Ben, good evening. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Always appreciate that. Josh, I apologize. I got your email the other day, and I will take care of that for you ASAP. I'll give you a call here. I'll give you a call tomorrow. So let me know what a good time to give you a call will be, and I'll give you a call just to go over everything. But anyways, we decided last week that this week we're going to try to tie some leeches. And this is going to be a pretty basic variety of a leech. This is not one of those complex, complicated patterns. And what we're going to be using is some stuff that's referred to as like a mohair, mohair. And of course, when you get it from the fly shops, they just call it leech yarn. And I have procured the fruit flavor shine of orange, cherry, lemon, and lime. It comes in black. I've got olive tan, purple, kind of a reddish leech, which is what we're going to be using today. Oh, a rusty brown. I mean, it's just, even I believe I got some of this olive here that was, judging by that label, I believe that came in my beginner kit. So, the leech is not a pattern to be shied away from. I got a cough. Apologize about that. It costs anywhere from 50 cents for this one, clearance 89 cents. I don't know. So it's not a super expensive material. You get it, I don't know, by the yard or so. So anyways, let's go ahead and get that one put back. Alright, let's go ahead and slide on over to the bench and just get right to it. We'll tie some of these up. There's Exhibit A. Exhibit A is what we'll refer to this one as. By a show of hands, who has been bitten? I guess it would be bitten by a leech or attached to by a leech. I'm not exactly what the vernacular is. All I know is I have not had to mess with them. I don't know nothing about those. So here we are, man. Just add water. So this would be what you would consider an egg sucking leech. That bright pink bubblegum gumdrop up front, I suppose, represents or resembles a fish egg, not like a chicken egg, not like a green eggs and ham kind of egg. Anyways, I'm losing it. It's been a long day. That's the thing, is a lot of fresh air, a lot of time on the road. When I say a lot of time, I spent 3 hours driving today. Hour down, 40 minutes, and then about another hour. So spent about 3 hours in the truck driving around. I don't know. Let's see. Ben, he says, I have when I was in the boundary waters. I'm guessing that was the leech. What is the attack? Is that what you call it? A leech bite? A leech attachment? I guess I'm not 100% sure. It's never happened to me. I'll tell you that for free. Alright, so here we are. Who wants to guess? That's right, 3366 size deuces. This has got to be one of my, pretty standard hook around this house. And what we have to do, and I normally save this for when we get onto the water, but we need to mash that barb down. And check this out. I'm going to use the back side of my scissors, just like so. And we're just going to give that a little squish. And this will help us get that bead past there. Perfect. Alright. And I'm going to use my fancy hook holder to hold my hook while I grab my bead. Alright, bead I am using, even though it's a size 2 hook, I have it, this just says it's just a generic, just of it guideline, 4 to 6, but it is a 3/16 hook, or 3/16 bead head. Not sure what the weight is on that, but it's pretty stout. And I guess if I wanted, proportionately, I guess if you were going on to a size 2 hook, you would want that bead to be a little bit bigger if you were, I don't know, the leech, they end up skinny. You don't want a super fat, well, maybe you do want a super fat leech, but these end up a little skinnier than fatter. I'll tell you that for free. Alright, here we go. We're going to add a little bit more weight. Lead-free wire. There's a big push out there. Get the lead out. Lead-free is not, it doesn't quite have the density as lead wire. I mean, not much has the density of actual lead. But this is a good substitute. It's a safer substitute as far as lead. And if you are tying with lead wire on your bench, actual lead or lead strips or anything lead, be sure to wash your hands when you're done tying flies. And you should wash your hands before and after tying flies in general, but even more so when you're messing with lead. Alright, here we go. So I like to start at the back, and I like to wrap as counter wraps, working my way forward. And I don't have to worry about it getting super close to each other right away, because what we can do is compress this down. We'll wrap all the way forward, give that a little smush. We'll finish up that last little bit, and I don't want to quite go the full length. We're just going to go a few more wraps. I want it to end right at about the tip of the hook. And there we go. Line that up proportionately in relationship to itself. There we go, just like so. Right? You see where we're going with this? Are we smelling what we're stepping in? You should never have to smell what you stepped in. If you are, then happy dog day, I guess. Because that's what today is. National Hound Day, Dog Day. Maybe it's because it's the dog days of summer. I don't know. Alright. Shake your tail feather. We need to add a tail. And what do you know? We're going to use some black marabou. Alright, and this isn't the greatest of marabou. This is almost like a blood quill, but it'll work. We don't need too big of a pinch, but we do want to measure it out. 1 hook's length thereabout. Wait a minute, before we do that, we need thread on the hook. Oh my gosh. Talk about carriages and horses and being in the wrong order. Alright, so actually what we're going to do is we're going to start our thread right behind our wire. Just like so. And I didn't show the thread. What am I using? I'm using 100. Well, this is gel spun. Maybe I don't want to use this thread. This thread would be a little bit overkill. We need to, I just realized, we were going to just go bananas with that. Let's go, I guess the next best thing I have readily available would be an 8/0. I want actually a little bit thicker of a thread, but this will be fine. So the gel spun is more ideal and more suited for when I'm spinning deer hair and building big flies. And I really need to get a lot of compression on there. So I started my thread right behind my wire, and I got it compressed back onto that bead. And I didn't say it, but when I put that bead on, I made sure that the larger opening of the bead was towards the rear. And we're just going to secure this wire in just a little bit. You don't have to spend too much time on that. Alright. Anytime after 1 p.m. Cool, sounds good, Josh. Sounds like a plan. Alright. So anyways, here we go. Once again, we need to add our marabou tail. Just measure that out, about a hook's length. We're going to tie that behind that lead-free wire, and I'm going to wrap back just a little bit. We're going to go about to the tip of the, kind of what I refer to as that main tie-in point, right between the tip of the hook and the tip of the barb. That's hanging straight down like a plumb bob. There we go. Alright, let's just go ahead and just trim this excess off. Bada boom, bada bing, we don't need you. Alright, next we're going to grab just some plain old crystal flash, some good old KF9. Alright. It's not too complicated. I guess we'll pull a couple out. We're going to tie more than one of these, so we're only going to trim one off for now. One is all you need. Alright, let's just set this on the near side. We can measure that out. If we want, we can go just a tick past that tail. Wrap it forward, and then we'll fold it back. We'll take it to the far side of the hook, and we'll just match it along the side. Alright, and let's go ahead and think. Looks good to me. Alright, we are getting somewhere. Alright, now for some of that mohair. How much mo? Mo. I don't know, mo. Alright, you might see some extra little bits and bobs of flash and hair that might come attached to this, but the color on this is just fantastic. Not sure if you guys can really pick up on all the color on there, but you know, there's blue and kind of a maroon and purple, some green, some black, some pink. I mean, this is just got so much life and color to it. And we tie it on just like we do a chenille. We want to make sure we get it in, tied in by the core. And let's just go ahead and just fold whatever little bits we need to fold back. A couple loose wraps and some locking wraps. And if that doesn't want to cooperate and just tuck in, then you show it who's boss. Alright, advance the thread, park it right behind that bead. Too easy. Too easy. Alright, so as we palmer this forward, we don't want to just go bananas with it. We want to get the most out of the mohair. So go ahead and just kind of preen it to one side. Coax it to one side. I don't know if that's the correct word. But we just want to make sure we don't trap or if we do trap, we need to trap as little of that hair as possible. And don't sweat it so much how it looks right now as we're wrapping it, because the magic kind of happens with this at the very end. It looks kind of lame at first. Really make sure you got that coaxed out there. And nice tight wraps. You really want to make sure we got this nice and tight to the hook. And, you know, I guess another consideration for that lead-free wire is it does give you that additional body, that girth around that shank of that hook. So it keeps an already thin fly from being an even thinner. I think it would be really nice to have a scarf knitted out of this or something. And if you want, if you get the material, like you can see, I still keep it on the card, because that way when I'm done I don't have a little niblet of it left over. Mitigates my waste. Keeping the materials attached to the card. And you know, sometimes it can be a little bit of a pain in the butt to work with and work around, but sometimes a little bit of suffering can help out in the long run. But take your time, nice tight wraps, rear to front, with the mohair special. A little leech, a little leechy. Yeah, we'll get it one last turn. Perfect. Alright, so as we secure this, we just want to kind of clear the way. That way when we go to tighten down, we tighten down directly onto the material. So a few wraps behind and a few wraps in front. Get some tension on that. One movie I always think about when I think of leeches is the movie The Great Outdoors. Oh, I could not do that. I could not wake up and just have leeches all over me. No way, no how. Do that one more time. Boy, that does that all the time on me. I don't know my own strength with this A-dot. But we'll let a little drop of, where is this? This is that water-soluble, water-based head cement. This is that loon. We'll add a little drop right on top, get it in there, into that head cement. Right into that thread. There. I don't know where that broke. Do you? Nope. Alright, so here we go. Who's ready for the magic? It looks just kind of a lame little leech right now, but oh boy, wait till we start teasing it out with the Velcro. Oh boy. Just pluck it out perpendicular to the shank of the hook just to start. And that is about it. And we can just start working it back a little bit. And that is a fancy little leech there. Could almost have that for a little dubbing later. If you wanted to hoard onto that, that works. Questions, comments, concerns over the leech. What do we think? Looks fishy, doesn't it? And if you don't happen to have yourself a fancy Velcro brush like I have, fret not, because you can improvise and make your own little awesome what do you call that? A popsicle stick, a little tongue depressor one. I'm not sure where this little this little tiny popsicle stick came from, because that's definitely a shorty. And pay attention to which way your hooks go, because sometimes the hook on the hook pile fastener tape, because even though Velcro is a trademark name, void where prohibited and not available in all stores, hook and pile fastener tape. Get that hook side and make yourself a little Velcro brush. What do we think? The bead is weighted. I don't know what the weight is, but it's I believe it's a tungsten. It feels. I think they're heavy tungsten. It feels like a tungsten bead, but they do have some weight to them. You could get away with some plastic beads. That's just fine. You know, I guess the whole concept behind this is that it's I don't know. At some point in the past, somebody has established that this is what a leech shall be, and it looks very leechy, if you ask me. And I agree. So, anyways, alright, we got a few people tuned in tonight. We're, what, 27 minutes in? We've got 10 watching. I want everybody to do me a quick favor. Smash that thumbs up button, as they say, that like button. That would be crisscross. Awesome sauce. So yeah, that's what it looks like with the bead on it, the bead head. We can, you know what? Let's tie another one without the bead and see how that looks. Why not? And actually, I got a little something idea that we'll do in lieu of a bead. We're still gonna add the weight to it. Otherwise, that leech is going to be awfully skinny. Jacob is in the house. Good evening. Thanks for tuning in. Hoy, what a day. It's been a wet week, I tell you that for free. I have lawns that have to get mowed, and guess who has not been mowing them? This guy. Alright, let's get things reset here real quick. Set that one off to the side. And we're going to grab our hook. And again, we are using that good old Mustad 3366. Alright, we're not going to put a bead head on this one. We're just going to send it. We need to go with our lead-free wire, because we still want to get some weight. Something like this is going to need a little assistance getting down. Alright, again, I'm going to pinch it on the back and wrap as counter wraps. Give it a little pinch, clean up that back end. Remember, you got a brand new hook right there, so don't encroach on that tip too much. And that looks good. Don't want to crowd the eye. Don't want to crowd the eye with the wire. So there we are. We got about an eye's length behind the eye. And a 0.025, be tenths, hundredths, that'd be 25 hundredths. Yeah, tenths, hundredths. Yeah, 25 hundredths of an inch lead-free wire. Okay, let's go ahead and start our thread. And I'm going to be using this just A. Vivus. I guess you could be using a little bit thicker wire or thread. I'm not going to hurt it. But we're going to start up front, and I'm going to leave my tag end on. And I'm going to carefully bite over all that. And then wrap into that wire. And leave that tag end. Work it all the way. And what that did is I kind of stitched it. The thread that came off of the bobbin is in between the wire wraps. and the tag end is just kind of laced out on top. How about them apples, huh? Alright, we'll come back and forth a couple of times. Nice little angled wraps. You don't have to go too bananas locking this down because we are going to be putting that mohair and that other stuff on top. There we go. You know where that's going? Nowhere. That's where. Alright, let's grab our little bit of marabou, black marabou for our tail. And we want to measure out approximately 1 hook's length. Measure that out. Da-da-da-da-da. Just like that. I'm going to wrap towards the bend of the hook. Opposed to wrapping forward. And what that does is that fills that gap between the tip of the hook, and then we'll go back a little bit. This is just going to kind of give us a little bit of diameter, a little bit of something to start with. Not sure if that makes sense, but not even sure if it makes sense in my own brain. I don't know. I did get a chance to get out to Handyman's Hardware the other day to pick up some other stuff, and 21 cents later, I got myself a new cork. One bit of crystal flash. I want to tie this in facing towards the rear on the near side. Just a tick past the marabou, just a little bit. Fold the other one over, and we'll get the same result working our way back with this one. Just like that. We'll match the length thereabouts. And now we're going to get our fuzzy hair. And this is, you know, it's like you could go with black or all black or red or all red, but I think all red, it's almost just a little too much. I really like this kind of maroonish burgundy. It just looks like when you really look close at it, there's so much color happening. You just want to make sure you get a good bite on it. And then we'll just work our thread forward. We're going to definitely stop our eye's length behind the eye. Eye. Alright, kind of pick that out just a little bit. And we just wrap it forward. This is one of those patterns that, I don't know, I don't think why, I don't know, we should really stop trying to overcomplicate things. I mean, a leech is a leech, right? Alright, it's a little quiet in the chat today. We've had one person, we got a few more people that have joined us since. Earlier I asked, who here has been bitten by a leech or sucked on by a leech or donated blood to a leech, however you want to verb it. Got one individual. It happened in the Boundary Waters. For those who are not familiar with where the Boundary Waters are, they're a wonderful body of water that resides on the boundary of the United States and Canada. More specifically, here in the great state of Minnesota and Canada. Hence, it's an international boundary, and it's a wonderful, wonderful bodies of water. There's a whole bunch of chain of lakes, and it's just a recreational area. The mosquitoes will carry you away if the leeches don't kill you, I guess. All right, so we got our little mohair body all the way up front. I'm gonna go one more wrap. Ouch! That's a sharp hook. Now it's gonna have the scent of blood on it. Take a few wraps behind, switch hands, and a couple wraps up front. So, yeah, big update, ladies and gentlemen. We'll give this a big update here at the halftime. Let's see here. Let's grab our wonderful Velcro brush, and we're going to carefully pick this out. I'm going to get a couple more wraps of thread up front, just in case. Pick that out. Looks like we got a piece that's caught around our tail. Maybe we'll have to get the bodkin out. I can't think of myself ever getting had by a leech, but then again, I don't know. Here we go. Oh, Mr. Bodkin to the rescue. There we go. That's what I'm talking about, my friends. Wow. Hot dog. Alright, so we could just finish it there. But I want to take it just a half a step further. I don't know why, but I got a little bit of soft hackle here, and I want to tie in a soft hackle up front. Okay, can't be so bad. Just go ahead and just strip the fuzzies off, get that out of the way. Here's the top side of that feather. Here's the bottom. We're going to tie it top side up, top side out. Tie it in by the tip. That looks good. And we'll take a couple of turns up front. And just trim that off. Alright, let's take a quick second, reevaluate our situation, establish where we're at. Because it's hackle time. Alright, let's go ahead, park our thread directly behind the eye of that hook. Don't ask what this will do, because I don't know. Just a little something I decided to throw on here. Lock that in. Bada boom, bada bing. I think that'll work. What do we think? Little soft hackle head on the leech? Can it be? I think that'll be all right. I like it. That is a fantastic looking leech. And we're going to add a little dab head cement up front. With Mr. Bodkin. Questions, comments, concerns. What do we think about the Leech? I like it. Cactus chenille also makes a great head. Ooh, yeah, absolutely. Let's do that on the next one. I saw some cactus chenille somewhere. Ah, I do have it. So we're gonna switch over to here real quick. Alright, let's see here. Oh, my back, stiff. Alright, let's see here. Cactus chenille also makes a great head. We're gonna do another one with the cactus chenille. Good call. Let's see. Some of my family earns their money leeching, so leeches have been attached more than enough. Oh boy. Oh, leeching. Okay. Like for healing. For whatever reason, I envisioned like the Anderson family out there like trying to harvest leeches or something. I don't know. No, leeching. Yeah, it goes back, sucks the poison out, sucks the bad stuff out. I'm not a scientist. I'm not a doctor. I don't know nothing about that. But yeah, next one we'll definitely get a little frizzy cactus chenille. Oh, yeah. Okay, so for bait. Nice. Anyways. So, moving forward, I received an email from Project Healing Waters headquarters office, HQ, and in-person, face-to-face meetings have been suspended through the remainder of 2020. It will be reevaluated again by then. And who's to say what might happen between now and then? We don't know. And we have to figure out what we want or how to at least continue with these live streams moving forward. I really like the idea of doing them every week, but I occasionally I need help. I need you guys, the viewers, the participants, the guys and gals on the other side of the camera, to help me out. Just let me know you guys are there. I really, really thrive on the interaction in the chat because I get, after a while, sometimes I start to get a little self-conscious about rambling a little bit too much, and I don't want to. I feel like because I have the microphone and I have the camera and everything is turned on, I feel like I have to talk, and I don't mind talking. But I'd like it to be. Let's think of more of a conversation opposed to just a lecture. I know the camera's only one-sided. Excuse me. That's always good to itch on camera. They don't tell you to do that in camera, movie school or film school or whatnot. Anyways. But yeah, we're getting there, and I don't know, running this every week from the basement. It's not as enthusiastic. It's like I was talking about it in the car earlier today. It's no ifs, ands, or buts. Getting myself to Project Healing Waters has always been a big motivation. I've scheduled vacations around my Wednesday nights and this and that. And, well, now that it's just a live stream out of the basement, it's getting a little bit harder to stay motivated. Here we are 20 some odd, 23, 24 weeks into it. March, April, May, June, July, August. So we're like 6 months into it, and who knows how long this will go. And who knows how long we'll have to continue this. But there's other live streams out there. There's other sources of fly tying information, but they're not as good as me. I'll be selfish. I'll say it. They ain't got nothing on me. They might, but I don't know. I'm here, and you're there, and you're here. We're all here because we're not all there. I'll tell you that for free. But let's go ahead, get back to it. Tie another leech. What do you say?
I say that sounds good.
Bam. There we go. I'm also always open for pattern ideas or suggestions. And I'm not necessarily looking for something that has been tied a million times. You know, there's already enough examples of how to tie a royal coachman or a royal wolf or some of these super popular patterns. Not a big fan of the stimulators. I'm a bass guy. We got bass in our backyard. We gotta keep them in mind. All right, let's grab our hook. And we'll grab our wire. Hook and wire. Size 2, 3366 for our hook, and our wire 0.025. There's no O. It's not a 025. Not this one. It's not an aught. I guess you could say, I guess it would be a not 25. Anyways, start it in the back, and we'll start wrapping forward. Give a little compression. At this point, then you can just work that last little tail end nice and clean. Get that lined up with about the tip of the hook, and we'll stay at eye's length behind the eye. Give that a little twist. Alright, here we go. Here's our 8-aught. Work that into that lead-free wire. Oh boy. There we go. Have I checked out the UFO? No, I have not. I will see. I think you told me about that one, and I wrote it down somewhere. And that's the thing, is if you lose your notebook, what good is it? I literally lost my notepad. I know it's somewhere. I think I remember. I remember that, hearing that, the UFO. Let's grab our marabou for our tail. About a hook's length. Kind of filling that gap right behind that wire. And we'll trim that off. Bada boom, bada bing. Alright, we'll get our leech yarn, mohair yarn. Oh, wait, as I was. We need to add our crystal flash. Bump, bump, bump. Well, I appreciate that, Mr. Coleman. Have you been out fishing the last couple of days? Probably not. It's been some crappy weather. It's been tough. It's been tough the last few days. Water's been dirty. I was thinking about heading up the Sauk River soon. But really the only time I fished the Sauk River is over by the VA hospital. And haven't been back by there in quite some time. I'm not even sure if they would let us onto the let me onto the property. I guess I could lie and say I got an appointment with like Dr. Fish and then just go. I don't know. How do you sneak past the VA healthcare screeners people to get back to the water, get back to the river? I don't know. Alright, let's go ahead and tie this in. Here we go. Get a little skinny leech in there. Alright, I'm going to leave myself a little bit of room because we're going to add some chenille. Sauk is very high, yeah. It's tough. It's tough this time of year. I had to get the truck in to get serviced, and that cost me way more than I would like to have. But you know, it had to be done. Whatever. I'm over it. But I want to take my little blue inflatable, and I'm trying to pick out a lake that would be relatively small, relatively out of the wind. I think I might just go to Camp Lake. But who am I kidding? It's close. It's nearby. If I can get to that far corner. And that's the thing. Why are the fish always on the other side of the lake? The fish are always on the other side of the lake. It doesn't matter. If you're in the river, they're on the other side of the river. If you're in a boat, you're in the middle. There you're going to be casting towards the bank. If you're on the bank, where do you cast? Right towards the middle. It's tough. It's a tough world. We drive on the parkways and park on the driveways. Alright, a little bit of room. About maybe 2 eyes length. Maybe that 1/3, 2/3 point. Maybe a little bit beyond that. We don't need to have too big of an egg up front. We'll give that a trim, keep that out. Wouldn't bother, my waders aren't high enough, yeah. Alright, let's go ahead and pick this out before we get too bananas with our we're going to add some chenille up front, some cactus chenille. Man, that's leechy. And I don't have the nails or the hooks right now. I think I might have a hook. I might be able to do this. But if you go back to my videos, I have in the past tied what's called a balanced leech. And what that is it's a 90-degree jig hook, and then you stick the bead out in front of it. Not quite like that. I'm not sure if I have one of those hanging around here. I know I use my balanced. Last time I fished my balanced leech was on my ice fishing jig. Ice fishing rig. And I'll just sit there and jig it. And a nice little northern on it once. Alright, let's pick a color. Let's go with we've got options. I think, do we want to go, see this is it's a little bit more of a plush chenille. And this is a smaller, tighter little chenille, Antron. Here's a little bit. This is what I want. It's not a super big. There we go. A little cactus chenille. Expose that inner core. We'll get our thread back to where we want it. Alright, so I'm going to just take a couple of soft wraps, and now that inner core, I'm going to give that a little bit of a tug, and that's going to pull that chenille right up tight to where the actual chenille starts. Cut off that tag end. Alright, again, we're not going to leave too much room up front, so we're going to keep things nice and tight to the eye of the hook. Same thing, just a couple wraps. One, two, we'll give it a third. That's it. A few locking wraps. I suppose you could make your egg as big or as little as you want it. As long as we can get to that eye of that hook, we are good to go. Let's give that a quick whip finish. This Vivus thread, I really don't. It's 8/0, and I really don't feel doesn't feel like very heavily waxed. I really like using a waxed thread, especially when I get to that whip finish. I suppose I could wax it just a little bit there at the very end, which actually would not be that bad of an idea to do. I don't know. That is pretty darn leechy, if you ask me. Little egg sucker. Little egg sucking leech. I don't know. What do we think? I think that looks alright. I think that looks fantastic. So there we have it so far. We have a bead head, a little soft hackle head, and then a little bit of a cactus crinkle crinkle chenille, frizzy chenille. What do we think? What do we think? What do we think? I think that's fantastic. What should we do for our second half? I think we could modify this just a little bit. I don't think... Yeah, my problem was I couldn't find a nail. I think I got the jig hooks, but I don't have the stainless steel nails to do the balanced leech. But they are pretty neat to tie. And they're fun to experiment with, getting that balance point just right, depending on your material. But with this, hey, you just send it. Just send it. And, you know, this isn't... It's not a fast. You're not going to throw this in the water and strip it super fast. This is one of those kind of dead drift leeches, or, you know, it's not a fast moving. It's not a streamer. I guess it is a streamer, but it's not a minnow. It's a leech. So, all right, we're going to take a quick pause for the cause, and when we come back, we will be continuing on the second half of our program. So we'll be right back, folks. Please stay tuned. Alright, we're back. Had to take a quick pause for the cause, if you know what I mean. Anyways. Yeah, so here we are once again, Wednesday night, halfway through it. We got a couple of leeches down. We're going to tie a couple of mo. Did I tie a leech before? It was a zonker. Tied something with a zonker. Rabbit hair leech, zonker leech. Maybe we'll do that one. We'll do that one next week. We'll tie a zonker leech, leech 2.0. We'll do that one next week. So we're going to continue on with this leech, and then yeah, next week we'll tie some different leeches or something. I don't know. What do you guys want to tie next week? What's hot out there? We need to start thinking maybe some terrestrials. Hoppers, poppers, beetles. Maybe I'll try to figure out an alternative grasshopper pattern. I don't know. Let's see, we need to go wrong camera. Project Healing Water Special. There we go. Okay. Okay, there we are. There we are. Set this bad boy off to the side. And let's get our hook. The Zonker Leech was a part of the hairline kit. There you go. That's where I've seen it before. I like it though. Then it's one of the top 20 patterns. For the beginner. Let's go back. I'm going to do another one with another soft hackle up front. I kind of like the look of that one. With a no bead and a soft hackle. Size 2 Mustad 3366 hook. 0.025. Lead free. Get the lead out. So back in the day when I was an active working stagehand, the counterweight system, usually the counterweights were, we just called it pig iron, but it's just raw, jaggedy steel counterweights, right? We would use those. I think they're like, I don't know, generally anywhere from 25-pound to I believe like 50-pound, 25 and 50-pound bricks of steel, little chunks of steel. We'll add those, take those off these big giant arbors, fly the curtains up and down. It was a beautiful thing. But occasionally you'd get something that just demanded so much weight, you would swap the 50-pound steel bricks out for, I think they're like 75, 80-pound lead bricks. And man, you don't want to mess with lead, folks. That stuff is heavy. It is dirty. It is toxic. It's not good for you. So why we use it so much in fishing, and you know, it's like lead and water supply. I don't know. Not a good idea, I suppose. But you know, you don't get that density. You just can't match it. I even have some little lead foil sheets from the dentist in my box of lead and stuff for tying and whatnot. Don't know when or where I'd use it, but by golly, I got it. All right, go Cubs, go. Up 2-0. Playing Detroit. It's been a heck of a baseball season. So hard to follow these days. I don't even know what other sports are happening. I know college football, NCAA football, I believe, is not happening this year. So I don't know. What do you do? Go fishing, tie flies. We do what we have to do to occupy our minds. The idle mind is the devil's playground. If you listen to too many people, you'll never win. And you know what? Life is not always about happiness. You don't have to be happy 24/7. Sometimes we can just be. Just be. Don't have to do anything crazy. Just exist. Sometimes just existence is enough. Sometimes the bare minimum that's why it's the bare minimum. Because that's what we need in our lives sometimes. Other times, go for it. Send it with everything you got. Let's go with our crystal flash. There it is. Right out of the bag. Right out of the corner. Just like that. That's nice. Alright, we're going to add a little bit to either side. This one's got a nice long tail. Compared to the little shorties of before. And usually, I've discovered that when you go to fold a crystal flash or any kind of flash over, you have to kind of walk it over in steps and stages. It's not gonna just pop over and instantly be directly on the side exactly where you want it. Takes just a wee little bit of work, but when it works, it works. Let's add our yarn. It's a Leech yarn. Just like that. Frizzle that out. And then get that pulled out to one side. I think that'll be just fine. So next week we are into September. How about that? August into September. start getting the brain thinking about fall fishing. This is definitely still late summer fishing. Soon the air will start getting a little crisper. God, I love fall. You know, when I lived in Atlanta, I think that was probably the season that I missed the most was fall. Autumn. I really like winter. I love winter, but man, you know, sweatshirt season, hoodie season, campfires, very minimal mosquitoes, if any. That's what I'm talking about. You know, it's just a little bit of frost in the morning, possibly. That's what I like. All right, I think that'll work. All right, let's pick that out. And if you don't have a piece of Velcro, bodkin works just fine. But I don't think you're going to get the. Some results may vary. And the more you pick at it, the more it'll frizzle out. Alright, and I wanted to add a little soft hackle to this. Or do I not? Maybe I want to go a little bit bigger hackle. Maybe I want to go with a saddle hackle. Let's try that. We're going to do a saddle hackle instead of our little hen hackle. Nope. We're going to stick with the hen. Sticking with the hen. But which one? Let's go with this one. Alright, how I like to do it, we'll just find that fuzzies and just strip them off. See you later, guys. Which leaves us that nice little handle. That'll work. It's hackle time. Fold those to the rear. Do one more. I like that. Gives just a little bit of definition up front. I don't know why, but I like it. Oh yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Is we are going to, oh yeah, I keep forgetting, I was just wanting to just add a little bit of wax on that whip finish. Because a little bit of wax can go a long way. It keeps a lot of things from slipping and such. Alright, so what I'm thinking is when I was digging in with my hen hackle, I think we are going to do one more. I thought I had some bright pink. We might get away with that. We'll give that a try at our next one. This will be our next one. Oh. Well, you guys got to tell me if I tie a whole fly and all you see is the back of my head, folks. Why is my camera gone? Where did that go? Huh. I'm confused here, folks. This shouldn't... Where is my... My camera's gone. We got our live stream is working, but for whatever reason, I lost my main camera. Let's hit refresh. Because this is going to be a humdinger if we don't have a camera. At what point did we lose the camera? I'm thoroughly confused. Let's try. Because as far as I can see, it's working just fine on that end. I gotta hit reset. Live score. Start the server. For whatever reason, I lost internet on my phone. Okay, so this is going to be a slight issue if I can't get this fixed. Begin server. Well, let's give this a quick restart on the camera. We are experiencing some technical difficulties here, ladies and gentlemen, but at least we got this camera working. And from at least I can tell, can we hear me? I can hear me. Can you hear me? Oy vey. This is... I've never had a live stream. I've never had my camera just cut out like that. That's a first. Every time I've connected and that, it's always worked. But here we are. You never know. I guess I gotta turn this down because that'll get rid of the echo. But that's live streaming for you, ladies and gentlemen. That's live streaming. I just glanced over and I saw that the camera wasn't on, and it should have been. And as everything's built as layers on the system, on the encoder and or the OBS software, but Uh, what do you do? Okay, so we're rebooting the phone, which is my camera. Um, if I had $1 million, I could have a dedicated camera, but that's not happening. Let's get this rebooted. Connect to the Wi-Fi. Get that camera turned on. Start server. Okay, we might be back in action here. Alright, let's try this. I know we can't hear me. Okay. Let's switch it to that screen. Well, I guess that's gonna be it for the camera. Let's just try hitting refresh there. Okay, that's there. We got that zoomed back in. Alright, we're there. And well, camera one operator, I don't know what to say or what to do. Aha. That. Okay. Go back to there. Go back to there. And there we are. We have. Oh, there we go. So, there you have it. That's. I'm not sure where we lost the video for the tying of this fly, but that's where we ended up with that one. Now we got about a half an hour left, so I reckon we'll maybe do one more, two more, maybe. I don't know, depending on how it goes. All right, we are cooking with something now, and I kind of like that one. So far, we've got the bead head, the soft hackle head, and a frizzy chenille. We're going to do another soft hackle, but I got an exciting little soft hackle. It's going to be kind of a hybrid of the two in between. All right, let's get our hook in. I wish I had some bright chartreuse beads, to be perfectly honest. If I had a bright, hot chartreuse bead, because if it ain't chartreuse, it ain't no use. I guess we could try just a chartreuse one with just some chartreuse chenille up front. Let's do that. Let's do that one, and then we'll maybe do our final grand finale hot pink one. We shall see. Start up front, or start at the back, work our way up front. Right at about the tip of the hook. And we'll leave ourselves just a little bit of room up front. let's go ahead and start our thread up front, and we'll work our way towards the rear. And that will catch our wire as we lace through it and over top of it. Build a small dam in the back, and we'll bring this up front. Bada boom, bada bing. We are right here. Let's grab our marabou for our tail. This is not the greatest of quality. It's almost like a blood quill marabou, even though the bag is labeled woolly bugger marabou. I don't know. Kind of sad if you ask me. About the hook's length. I like that. And we'll just fill that little gap between the back of the wire and what we refer to as that main tying point, that when we're hanging straight down, it's right where that bend is starting. It's the tip of the bend. Top of the bend. Top of the bend of the morning. Top of the bend to ya. Ha ta 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 tee. Holy smokes. I just saw on the calendar again. Today's the 27th. 31 days. Then we got into September. Huh. Alright, let's get our crystal flash. And I suppose you could go with a red crystal flash or any color crystal flash if you want. If you want to. Alright, we're going to go on the near side of the hook and then over to the far side of the hook. Wrap forward a little bit. And we'll flip our flash over and work our way to the far side. I'll try to match that up on the side, nice and even Steven. We'll keep that just a tick longer than our tail. Fantastic. All right. Make sure you tie it in by the inner core. Sometimes if you have to tie that forward just a little bit to really make sure you get into it. But you really want to make sure you got it. Alright, we're going to park that there. Here we go. Palmer this forward. Pick that out just a little bit. Remember, we can always pick everything out after we're done too. Nice tight wraps. What I like about this pattern is it's about as simple as it gets. I mean, you can't, kind of hard to mess this one up. Every now and then, just make sure you don't have it all trapped. Just gotta make sure we keep it flowing nice and smooth. Again, sometimes you'll see the hook bend and flex how it is. You know, a little bit of flex is good. Think of it like that tree branch. It's letting me know I'm getting ample amount of tension on this. Slack is evil. Slack is evil. Slack is evil. When we tire flies and when we fish them. Introduce slack into the system, you are setting yourself up for failure. Recipe for disaster. Slack. When you got a nice little dead drift, you want a nice... I guess that's about the only time you want a little, just a touch, just the world's lightest amount of, not slack, but nice even, perfectly even. Sometimes you need to mend your line. Mend your line. I thought that was part of fishing at first, when you have to yell at the person next to you. Mend your line. Mend your line. When I was learning how to fly fish, get your line out there, and they're yelling at me. Mend your line, Aaron. Mend your line. But we're a nymph fishing, and you don't a lot of opportunity. Get yourself in trouble there. Alright, let's see here. Oh yeah, we're gonna do our little dab of green chenille. Just got a little bit of a scrap here. I'll go back just a wee little bit and we'll tie in our chenille. Get a couple of wraps around that, and then I'm going to cinch that up nice and tight. Take up all that slack. We'll make a small little ball up front with this nice chartreuse electric. I'm gonna go back over that. Oh, go back over that once. And cheat it back. And then we'll wrap it forward once more. Wrap it to the rear, and then we'll wrap it forward once. Yeah, buddy. Oh yeah, that is fantastic. We like the chartreuse. Chart reuse. Oh yeah, we're gonna add a little touch of wax to our whip finish there. That really helps it stick. Oh, buddy, that is fantastico. Ha 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 ha. We like chartreuse, but I've never seen a bright foam. Use the McFly foam from the woolly worm. Whoa! I do have some McFly foam. Ha 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 ha! Brilliant, brilliant. I've got some glow bug. Well, this glow bug doesn't have any UV material. We could add a little. Let's try it. Dang it, Josh. That's a brilliant idea. Everybody thank Josh for this. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Thank you, Josh. Oh, I like this idea. I like this idea. A little dab of McFly foam on a leech. Are we allowed to do that? Well, are we allowed to do that? Sounds like Josh is already a step. Look at here I am thinking, oh, good idea, Josh. Let's try that. Oh, wait, you already did, didn't you? That's awesome. Alright, let's get our hooking. And let's get our wire. Lead free. Free the lead. Alright. Bingo. Start our thread up front. Lock in our wire. Alright, and we'll work our thread back and forth a couple of times, further securing down our lead-free wire. We'll grab our Maribou. Hook's length. There we go. Alright, let's do our crystal flash. You know, I'm really surprised out of all this stuff I haven't forgotten the crystal flash. I mean, I almost tried to tie one earlier without a thread, but I would have expected myself to forget the crystal flash at least once. This aside and that aside. And, you know, it's not going to be the end of the world if it's not on either side. You know, none of this is make it or break it critical on these leeches. So if it doesn't quite work out 1000%, then don't beat yourself up. Okay, folks? Okay. Where'd my yarn go? Here we go. Lock that in good and tight. You know who I didn't see jump in the chat tonight was our good friend Steve or Andreas. or Dale. But I guess when attendance isn't required nor monitored. Let's see here. So next week we're into September. What should we tie next week? I am thinking, I don't know. Maybe we could tie some more hoppers or some more, something with foam. I'm thinking something with foam. Maybe a stealth bomber. I haven't tied any of those because I haven't worked out the template as far as being able to replicate that from time and time again. I don't know. Here we go. We'll leave that right there like that. Ooh, that's nice. Or maybe we could have another mop fly party, or another just simple streamers, or a bucktail bear hair. Ooh, the bear hair. The bear hair streamer was a fun one. It was kind of like a, I don't remember what that one was like. That was a kind of like a freestyle bear wing, bear hair, bear wing streamer. It's just a hair wing streamer with oh, you know what we could do? Let's try our hand at... I haven't tied it in a long time. And I'm going to have to practice, and I will practice this a couple of times. But we're going to tie, maybe next week we'll tie the butcher, or the bloody butcher. Something like that. Oh, the UFO. Ah, write that down. UFO. UFO. UFO fly. UFO fly. Okay. I got that written down, Ben. UFO. UFO. Alright, we gotta get our little bit of McFly foam here. This is a brand new package. This is some chartreuse. It doesn't take much. Oh. Wait, how do I... I forgot how to do McFly foam. I guess I'm doing it on smaller hooks. We're gonna just stick that all the way around. Yeah, buddy. We'll trim that up a little bit. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, yeah. One more time. A little touch of wax this time. Well, I don't know what it is. I don't know what a UFO. I don't know what it looks like. Unless it's a super complex. If it's an overly complex pattern, I really don't want to mess with it. Because I don't like sitting here tying for 2.5 hours to get one fly out of the mix. I don't know. I don't know. There will be some prep needed before tying. Oh boy. Let's go ahead. Let's take a look at Lil. Well, there's a couple of options. I'm looking here. UFO sightings. A little worm? It doesn't look UFO-ish. But, I don't know. We'll look for it later. Let's see here. I don't know. We'll look it up. We'll find it. Possibly we might tie it. Who knows? Let's see. Alright, we'll talk tomorrow, Josh. It is about that time. We are going to wrap things up. It's been a day. It's been a hot day. Oh, the humidity. What do? Sweat it out. Drink water. Stay hydrated. Alright, we're going to leave it at that, everybody. Let's see here. Go to this. And I want to get at least one of these up there. I kind of like this was my favorite one. Kind of like it like that, without the egg sucking. That's my personal favorite, was this one. There we go. Just like that. Alright, we're going to wind it down. Alright. Next week we may or may not be tying a UFO. I'm not 100% sure. I'll have to see what it looks like. I have really no idea what we might tie. It could just be a whole evening of something freestyle. Yeah, just trying to think out loud. So I guess we're going to leave it at that. I think personally that's my favorite Leech of the night. Although the one with the chartreuse, that's pretty hot. I like the idea of the McFly phone up front, but I have to kind of mess around with the McFly phone just a little bit more apparently before because if I remember, you can get it, you tie it on, and then I think you cut it, and then it just kind of puffs and fluffs. And you can make a nice little glow bug or a yarn or a little ball with that. But anyways, thank you all for watching. Stay healthy, everybody. Please stay safe. Happy tying. Yeah, sure. You betcha. Tight lines. Peace.